Have you ever come across a point in your life where you know there's something more? You're like right on the cusp. You're right there. You're almost there to breaking through. You're almost there to your miracle. You're almost there to achieving that goal, achieving that relationship, being able to break free from poverty and all these different things. You're so close. But like, what is this last speck? What is this last little threshold that I need to pass through? And it's probably your mindset. It's something that needs to change internally rather than externally. Often, when we come across a problem, when we come across a closed door, when we come across something that's blocking the way from us reaching success or succeeding or evolving or just growing and hitting another point, it has to do with a mindset. There's just something so powerful about your mindset, about the mind. That's why it's so important to take care of it. And what I would suggest is you really evaluate your mindset. Are you thinking in limiting beliefs? Because that can be the very thing that's holding you back. Is there some knowledge that you need to gain in order to reach that next level of success? Is there something you're missing? Think about it. Think about how powerful a mindset is. Truly, like how your mindset changes everything. It's the difference between a poor person and a rich person. Have you ever, I don't know if you've ever heard of the thing where if a person who's lived in poverty their entire life wins the lottery, often all that money is gone within the next 5 years because they've grown up in poverty. They have that mind, because poverty is a mindset. There's a difference between, being broke, you just don't have money, and there's poverty where you have that mindset. And they grew up with this mindset of not being able to handle their money. They they don't know what to spend their money on. They don't know how to save. They don't know how to invest. They don't know how to take care of it. They don't know how to steward their money well at all and make it work for them. And then they get access to all this money. And it's because they don't know how to take care of it. They just spend it all. It's all gone in 5 years. And that's what happens with the lottery. Like, you ever think about how simple just a mindset change would be? And that if that same person, they won the lottery, and what if they spent, like, they could literally spend a few $100s on reading some books about wealth, like a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, a very famous book on wealth. They could read books about habits, to help with their spending habits, help with urges when it comes to, like just spending on just irrational things. And just a few $100s, a little investment could help them keep all that money and make even more with it. But it's just the power of their mind. Just a simple thing within their mind. Like, think about it. Just the mindset. Like, think about the bee. The bumblebee is scientifically not supposed to fly. Like, scientists don't know why. Like, its wings are too small, too fragile, and its body is too big. It's literally scientifically not supposed to fly. But the bee doesn't care. Its mindset, it can fly, so it flies off. You notice how powerful that mindset is? Because you just know you can do something. You just do it. You truly just do it because you don't care what other people what other people have to say. And your mind is so focused on the goal, so focused on your purpose, that there's no other time to get lost in these other things. So here, I want to lay out the steps to really take hold of your mind and break through those barriers, to not succumb to pressures, to finally reach that last point, to advance to the next level that you've been missing. One, evaluate everything that you've been taught in life. Truly, there's so many things that we're taught in life from the time that we're little, especially in public school. I can relate to, especially in America and all these different other countries. Just in public school, you're taught that, oh, well, you need to go this specific way. You need to go get your degree. You have to go to college. You have to do this. You have to do this to get a job. And, you have to go work a 9 to 5. And that's how it has to be. And if you don't do that, then you're going to end up being a homeless bum. That's what you're taught. But we clearly see there are lots of other people that are breaking free from that. They break free from that mindset, and they're able to pursue their passions. They're able to pursue purpose instead. And we see them succeed, and we're like, wow, I wish that could be me. But it's just a mindset that's different. It's a mindset that allows you to be free. You have to evaluate, what are you being taught? What is being drilled into your mind? Look at the music you're listening to. What are the lyrics that are being drilled into your mind? Are you listening to a bunch of music that is making you think lustfully, that's making you think perversely about women? Is that something, and is that why you think you have this trouble with talking to women? Because you've been taught so much, like, oh, you're only supposed to have sex with the women. That's the only thing that they're good for. That's what it's all about. It's only about, you just get a bunch of money, and that's the only thing that's gonna allow you to have a successful relationship. Well, a successful relationship, but that's really just founded on greed and lust. Were you taught by your parents something, just a limiting belief that's like, oh, you might have, your parents, even some parents that want the best for you, but Jenny, just because of what's been taught by their own parents and the generations before them, just trying to stay safe and not risk it all, which is a natural human thing. They might have said, oh, you can't do that, being an artist, what? No, that's too much of a risk. You can't do that. You're too smart. Just, focus on academics, focus on grades and do that. Oh, you want to do athletics? You're super athletic? No, that's too risky. Don't do that. You see how these simple little mindsets, they're taught into you, and they're reinforced by school, they're reinforced by society. Every single thing is just taught, make you think inside this box, make you think confined, make you think like every single other person. But it's time you evaluate that. Really, you have to spend time breaking those thought patterns down. And I really had to spend a lot of time, actually like a month ago, doing that. And I really went into a period of time of isolation. Cut yourself from a lot of people, cut yourself off from a lot of family members, from a lot of friends, even just for, I would suggest even for a few days. I did mine for probably like a good week and a half to really spend time evaluating everything. And I was like, what? I was really taught all of this, like all these limiting beliefs, all these limitations, and thinking that this is impossible. No, just be more childlike. Go to that point to where you're like a child and be like a sponge, and you can just absorb and learn everything. So first, take down everything, take down all those mindsets. Second, it's once you break down all those old mindsets, once you break down and evaluate everything, it's time to reinforce, build up walls again, build up strong walls. I want you to go and reinforce your mind with positive things. First, a good way of doing that is declarations. Have declarations over yourself. I do this every single morning. I say things like, I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm kind, I'm a fast learner, I'm charismatic, I am handsome, I'm attractive, I am loyal, I'm kind, I am wealthy. And you have to say those things, declare it. And you might be like, what? Like, what's the point? No, words have power. There's the Bible says there's the power of death and life is within the tongue. Your tongue is sharper than a double-edged sword. And even if you're like, oh my gosh, okay, he's talking about this biblical nonsense. No, it's true, because if you ever look at research, how they did research on plants, like someone that spoke to plants, and they did a difference between, they spoke positive things and then negative things to two different plants. The positive plant, it ended up growing really well, it grew successfully, and it was flowing abundant. And then the plant that was spoken to negatively, even though it had all the same sunlight, same water, same soil, same plants, it ended up dying and withering away. There's literally power in your words. You ever notice when you like say something negative and then something negative will happen? You ever notice that? You declare negative things and it happens, or you declare positive things constantly and it'll happen. There's power in your words. There is literal power in your words. So it's time you reinforce things. Get those declarations, but get things from the Bible, get things that you want to declare of yourself. Say like, oh, me, like I am an amazing leader. That is something that I am. I'm an amazing filmmaker. I'm an amazing cinematographer. I'm an amazing speaker. And declare it over yourself. And when you declare it, you have to declare it with belief. Believe what you're saying. And as you continue to, even if you only believe in it a little bit, you'll continue to believe in it. And then eventually it just becomes like, oh yeah, that's me. That's me. Yeah, me, Christian. Yeah, I am strong. I am brave. I am bold. I am courageous. That's what you have to declare. Declare those declarations. Second, listen to things that build up your mind. Stop listening to things that are just deconstructing you. Stop thinking of just stop listening to toxic things, things that aren't good for you. Listen, it's time you listen to some podcast, okay? And not just the little gossip podcast. You know what I'm talking about. This podcast just talk about you a whole lot of crap. Stop listening to a bunch of just like even if it's just only sports podcasts you listen to, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but start listening to some positive things that are really reinforcing your mindsets. They are equipping you to deal with this world. Listen to videos like, I have my whole entire channel. You can go into the backlog of all the videos. I would suggest my video on Let This Be the last lock-in video that you watch. Amazing video. A lot of people love that one. And I would just suggest, I actually listened to it myself, actually. It's 27 minutes long, but it's absolutely amazing, and it goes by pretty fast when you listen to what I'm saying. And I actually listen to that one constantly, and it really helps me break these mindsets and really build up my mind. It's time to spend time building up your mind. Spend time reading. I understand that reading is not the easiest thing. I know many of us haven't read since middle school, and they made you hate reading because they make you read boring books. But no, spend time reading. It's truly important. You wonder why some of the most successful people, why Bill Gates, why Mark Zuckerberg, why LeBron James, why Elon Musk, why do they all read? And these are all top people. It's because reading unlocks another part of your mind. It helps, like, the things you can learn in books, all the information that's within books is absolutely amazing. It's just only if you'd open up that book and read it, and not just read it. You read to comprehend, read to apply things to your life, read and finish the book. Don't give up on the book. Continue to read and just read it all the way through. And I'm telling you, it's so, 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 so powerful. It's genuinely so amazing. A book that I would recommend, a great start off book, Atomic Habits. I know you've probably heard of that book, but genuinely, I think that's the perfect like self-help and development book, self-improvement book for any person to read. It's a nice read. It talks about different stories, and it's a pretty you're able to follow through it pretty easily. You could start by reading just 20 pages a day. It's around 200, I want to say 250 page book or so of actual words. A part of it, because the last part's like resources. And so think about that, 250 divided by 2, that's like what, like 125 pages? Or I'm trying to think, wait, what is that? It'll take you like about like 12.5 days, I guess. So like think about it, like 13 days. That's about 2 weeks to where you could read that book, and life-changing information. Life-changing information that helps you build up habits. And it'll actually get you into reading other books. Like right now, I'm reading the book, The 12-Week Year. And I actually want to report back on that book and give you guys information about that. Even though I do talk about 12-Week Year, continuing to read through it and just open your mind. Reinforce it with information that's building you up. That's so important. And after you deconstruct all the negative things and then you build up your mind, then the next part is just evaluate it. Go through another stage of evaluation. Look at all the things that you really spent time on mentally. Like, what am I thinking about? What am I meditating on? Am I thinking of things positively? Because another key is you have to be unrealistically optimistic. This is another thing of all these leaders, all these high up people. They're unrealistically optimistic. There's so much power in being unrealistically optimistic because you just believe in it. When you believe in yourself, it just forces you to take action rather than, when you give all these excuses, when you're negative about all these things, where you're like, oh, that can't really happen. No one else has done that before. It gives you excuses to not take any action and just give up. No, you have to be unrealistically optimistic. And I know it's easier said than done. And I'm guilty of this too, of, thinking realistically and logically, because I am a logical thinker. But you really, really be optimistic. Spend that time. You know what? I don't care if anyone's not done this before. I can do it. What can I do? I'm different. Like, who says I can't do this? Really think like that. Just evaluate, evaluate, evaluate. You have to be in this constant cycle where you're evaluating your mind, taking down old things, and building it up. And it's just this constant cycle. Once you do those three things, you have the key. Just go on repetition. That's what it's all about. And you might think it's a little bit boring and, just monotonous, but don't make it that way. Really spend the time evaluating, deconstructing, building up. Do the process over and over and over again. And that's truly how you're going to improve. That's truly how you're going to get better. And that's the key. That's the key to breaking those barriers. It's all within your mind. You change what's up in your mind, you change everything in your life. Because when you change what's in your mind, you're gonna change how you speak. And then when you change how you speak, you're gonna change the way you conduct yourself. Your actions are gonna start being different. And when your actions are different, you're gonna conduct yourself a different way. That's why a guy that starts working out, he's thinking about, oh, okay, gets in this mindset, I need to work out. You start speaking, okay, what do I need to do to, start working out to get in better shape? Then starts taking action, maybe start going to the gym, maybe an hour for 4 days a week, starts doing that. And then, starts seeing gains. And then there's just certain level of confidence that happens. You start working with more confidence. You feel more confident in your clothes, confident when you're walking to people, when you're talking to people, because of a simple mindset change. Your mindset sets off a chain reaction. It goes from your mind to your words to your actions, and then just the whole entire peel on how you come off and the reflection that you are to other people. That's what it's really about. That mind starts a whole entire chain reaction, and I want you to get that. So evaluate, deconstruct, and rebuild. Those are three important things. Keep in that cycle, and you'll continue to learn new things. You'll continue to be like a sponge, continue to be like a child, and just continue to learn. Be open to things and think optimistically. Stop thinking. I know as we get older, it's hard, and it's just really easy to think like according to how the world and everything works logically. But you just gotta leave that behind and just trust in God's plans for your life. And that's what'll really make you break free from those barriers and go to the next step. So yeah.